Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, the one and only Hosting Cruz, bringing you another exciting edition of boxing. Don't forget to hit and to like, subscribe to my channel. It's always greatly appreciated. Stay tuned. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Hosting Cruz, and guys, I am here to talk about, and quite possibly, and most likely, the end of a great career. The curtain may have closed. We may have seen the curtain closed on a great boxing career of Danny Swift Garcia. This past Saturday night, it was a battle between two future Hall of Famers. Yes, two future Hall of Famers. And one, Danny Swift Garcia, and the American Dream, the ageless wonder, Landy Lara. Lara being the oldest champion, boxing world champion right now, defended his title by TKO over Danny Swift Garcia in a fight that I felt was going to be pretty solid, man. Good exchanges. Danny Garcia with his counter-punching style. Lara, he's an excellent counter-puncher as well. He's more of a stick-and-move type of guy. You got to press him in order to make a fight. Danny Garcia, he's not really a pressure fighter, but he brings the fight. Now, in boxing, styles make fights, and these two guys are tremendous, excellent counter-punchers. So that's what I saw. And the thing is, Garcia, he also, like I said, he brings the fight as well. But Garcia, man, I don't know what I saw. I don't know what was that Saturday night. Danny Garcia was in there and he barely threw a punch. He was not in there trying to win a fight at all. I've been watching Danny Garcia from the beginning, and Danny Garcia hasn't not gotten to where he is today by doing what he did Saturday night. Because if he did, he wouldn't have made it this far in his career. So definitely, if you're a Danny Garcia fan, or you've been watching Danny Garcia from the very beginning, you would know what I'm talking about. You know that was not Danny Garcia in there. Danny Garcia, activity, normally beats inactivity, and Danny Garcia has been an inactive fighter since his loss to Errol Spence back in 2021. I think it was in 2019 the fight happened. So Danny Garcia has never really been an active fighter since 2019. He's had one fight in 2022. And one fight this year, which was the one with Lara. So in 2021, he did not fight at all. 2022, he came back against Jose Benavidez in a fight that he looked pretty solid after being off 2 years. Counter-punching was there, the timing was there, and he put on a solid performance. 2 more years later, he fought Lara this past Saturday night, and he was not in there throwing punches. He did not show any type of urgency, willingness to win a fight, taking chances, none of that. He was hesitant a lot, defensive, and just letting Lara dictate the pace, who has no problem doing that because that's Lara's comfort zone. You got to press the fight in order to make Lara let his hands go and dig deep and make him uncomfortable, like what Jarrett Hurd did. But Danny Garcia, man, he was not in there to fight. He doesn't want to fight anymore, guys. You know, it is what it is. Danny Garcia does not want this anymore. He was in there for a paycheck. It was strange to see Danny Garcia take a knee. Strange. Danny Garcia throughout his career has known to have a solid chin, one of the best chins in the sport. And for him to take a knee to Lara, nothing to take away from Lara, because Lara has some decent pop, especially that left hand. But the left hand that hit Danny Garcia before he went down and took that knee was like a tapping left hand. It wasn't the hardest left hand I've seen Lara hit anybody with. So when Danny Garcia got hit with it right on the chin, it was like a tap. And knowing to have one of the best chins, he goes down with a tap. The left hand was not all that flush. And there goes Danny, who's known to have one of the best chins, goes down, take a knee. For the first time in his career, never been dropped, never been hurt. Danny did not. He was not in there to win. He was not in there trying to win the fight. He took a knee after a tap in left hand. He was not in there, man. He was not in there trying to win at all. He just showed up for a check. Danny, the businessman, showed up. Danny Garcia, the businessman. Danny Garcia, the Airbnb, the properties, businessman, the barbershop, the clothing, apparel. All that Danny Garcia showed up. Not Danny Garcia, not Danny Swift Garcia, not Danny, the fighter. I expected a much more competitive fight out of Danny Garcia. At least try to win the fight. He didn't try, and this is me from a Danny Garcia fan. And if this is the end of Danny Garcia's career, it's sad, and it's sad to see it end like that. Take up tapping left hand, didn't show any type of urgency to win this fight, didn't show any type of willingness to win this fight, barely let his hands go, took a knee after a tap on left hand, and that's it, let's go home. I mean, and the thing is, Danny was in great shape. He looked tremendous physically. He looked pretty good. So I was expecting a good fight out of Danny Garcia, but we didn't get anything close to it. You know, I'm a big Danny Garcia fan. I remember watching him back in 2011. First time I heard about Danny Garcia, saw some clips about him on HBO when he fought Eric Morales, the first fight. And he won the WBC junior welterweight title against a faded Eric Morales. And I was like, damn, this Puerto Rican guy faded, struggle against aging Eric Morales. Eric Morales at the time was 35. You know, after coming back from beating Marcos Maidana in a war, in a fight that many felt he won. Cano beating Pablo Cesar Cano to win the belt. And defended it against Danny Garcia and lost, which is when Danny picked up the WBC junior welterweight title. But yeah, I saw that he struggled with 35-year-old fading Eric Morales, and I was like, Danny Garcia ain't going nowhere in his career if he's struggling with a faded Eric Morales. Rematch came. Morales got knocked out, almost out the ring by Danny Garcia, and that was expected. You know, Danny Garcia was the up-and-comer, the young, strong lion, knocking him out in Brooklyn. The fight that really got my attention with Danny Garcia, which was a big upset in my opinion, was when he knocked out Amir Khan in Mandalay Bay. It was unification. Khan was coming in with the WBA title in the ring, and Danny Garcia knocked him out in round 4. Prior to that, it was a back and forth slugfest. You know, before Khan got caught with the left hook and couldn't really recover, he was fighting back valiantly until the referee said no more. And those were the days where Danny Garcia, when he threw his left hook, he would be looking at the canvas. He would be looking at the canvas at the same time. So he would throw the left hook, look down at the same time. He's come a long way. That's one thing about Danny Garcia, that he dedicated his craft to the point where he stopped looking down when he throws his left hook. He will now throw the left hook while looking at you, and in the process becoming one of the best counterpunchers in the sport. And Danny Garcia, from beating Lucas Matisse in a big unification fight on the Canelo Mayweather undercard, you know, the big fight, biggest win of Danny Garcia's career at that point, beating the boogeyman and Lucas Matisse. Then he had that Puerto Rico homecoming fight against Mauricio Herrera. I was there live, my first boxing event I've ever attended. Beating Robert Guerrero, beating Paulo Malignaggi, had close fights with Sean Porter and Keith Thurman. winning the WBC welterweight title in the process. Eventually, so unified champion 140, welterweight champion, two division world champion. Was daring to be great against Lara to become a three division, but I don't know, man. That was not the Danny Garcia that I've seen throughout his career in there with Lara. No, not taking away anything away from Lara. Lara is as difficult as they come as an opponent for anyone. But Danny Garcia didn't even try to win the fight. So if this is the end of Danny Garcia, as a fan, I'm honored and I'm happy that I saw what I saw out of his career. He brought some exciting fights, a warrior, and it sucks that this is the end. It ended this way, but he needs to retire and enjoy it, enjoy the money, enjoy his family. 36, not that old, but Danny Garcia showed me that he didn't want this. He didn't want to fight no more. And when that happens in a sport like this, even Dana White over at UFC always says it. If retirement is on your mind, you should retire. If you don't want to fight no more, you should retire. And that always makes sense and speaks to me. So Danny Garcia should retire young, 36. Got a lot left. You got a lot of life left ahead of you. He made some investments, properties, Airbnbs, clothing, apparel, barbershop. So Danny Garcia doesn't need to fight anymore. He got paid against Lara. We don't know. Maybe what? Danny Garcia has always been $1 million fighter for a while now. So maybe $1 million. But enjoy it. Enjoy your family, and live life, man. Live life, Danny. I'm a fan. I'm happy how your career turned out. Not happy with how it ended. If this is the end, which most likely it is, and the Hall of Fame is waiting for you. Even for Lara. Lara continues on his quest as the oldest champion right now. Second title defense. And he's a problem at 41. As for Danny Garcia, riding off into the sunset, in my opinion. I'll be surprised if Danny Garcia returns to the ring, but I just don't see it happening. Based on what I saw, man, I don't see it. It's hard to come back from a loss like that. That was hard to watch. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Hosting Cruz. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, guys. It is always a pleasure to talk to you guys about boxing. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.